My daughter came home from kindergarten with a look I'd never seen on her face, serious, almost scared. She dropped her backpack at the door, walked over to me, and whispered, "Daddy, my friend said never to tell your dad. Especially not Mom." I bent down to meet her eyes. "Tell me what?" I asked. Her hand trembled as she raised it slowly and pointed toward the living room. "It's right there," she said. I turned and froze. Sitting neatly near the entryway was a pair of black leather men's shoes, size 12. Not mine. I called the police, but not for the reason you'd expect. 3 years ago, I walked away from a high-paying legal career to be a full-time parent. My wife, Lillian, had just landed her dream role in architecture, and I wanted to give her the space to grow. I took care of everything at home: school lunches, bedtime stories, painting walls, and clapping for dance recitals that most people ignored. I believed in our family. I believed in her. But love doesn't always slam the door when it leaves. Sometimes it slips out quietly. First came the late nights. Then the untouched dinners. Her phone, once face up, now turned over. And a new scent, cologne I didn't wear. I brushed it all off until the night I heard her laugh outside, then silence as she walked in. I didn't accuse her. I just started collecting the truth. Her lies weren't sloppy, they were almost beautiful. "I'm working late on the Dawson proposal," she said. Dawson had closed 2 weeks ago. "I have a company retreat," she claimed, while packing lingerie instead of workout clothes. The real break came from our daughter, of all people. One morning she casually said, "Uncle Jason was at our house. He told Mommy I was his little secret." I smiled at her and drove her to school. But that day, my real work began. Jason was on her firm's leadership page. Senior partner. Divorced. Convicted for securities fraud back in 2011. Now, he was her mentor. His gaze in company photos told me more than I needed. So I observed. I added silent trackers to her phone. Installed remote access software on our home devices. Synced her messages to a backup cloud account. She handed me the keys to everything she was hiding without realizing it. What I uncovered wasn't an affair. It was a heist. There were hotel receipts, photos, messages that read like blueprints to betrayal. "He's too passive. He won't do anything," Jason had texted her. "By the time he figures it out, we'll be rich and gone." They were planning to sell everything, our home, drain our accounts, even clean out our daughter's trust. She'd forged my name on a power of attorney. Jason coached her through every step. I didn't confront her. I prepared. I hired a family attorney quietly, paid in cash, no paper trail. I transferred our daughter's trust into an irrevocable subtrust under my parents' names, untouchable. I cataloged all her messages with metadata and timestamps. Sent everything to a friend at the district attorney's office through a burner email. I also contacted Jason's parole officer. Told him Jason had been crossing state lines without notifying anyone. Not a lie, just a helpful tip. Then I filed an anonymous report to the State Architecture Board, attaching proof of Lillian's forged signatures and falsified documents, crimes in her profession. Lastly, I opened a new savings account under our daughter's name and deposited whatever I could. And I waited. It all came crashing down on an otherwise normal day. Lillian walked in early and froze at the sight of the officers in our living room. They weren't there just for Jason. They were there because of the shoes. I used to place the bags by the door before pickup, and one day I looked my daughter in the eye and gently said, "If you're ever scared or unsure, you tell me, okay?" She did. She pointed him out. I called the police immediately. They questioned Lillian about the strange man who had been in our home with a child present. A neighbor confirmed that Jason had been there more than once. The next morning, his parole officer got involved. Then came the licensing board. Then the district attorney. Everything unfolded like a chain reaction. She thought she'd buried me in silence. Instead, I buried her in proof. Her firm let her go. Jason was taken in again for violating parole. Lillian faced forgery charges, lost her professional license, and, worst of all for her, lost her good name. I filed for full custody. She didn't even try to fight it. For years she assumed I didn't see what was happening. But I wasn't blind, I was waiting. Now, every morning, I pack lunch for my daughter. She wraps her arms around me like I'm her safe place. Sometimes she asks where her mom is. I tell her honestly, Mommy made some bad choices, but we're okay now. And I'll always be here to protect you. It's strange, isn't it? The ones who stay quiet are so often overlooked. People expect them to crumble. Instead, they get wiser, stronger, and unshakable. She thought betrayal gave her power. But it gave me clarity. It gave me purpose. I didn't need to shout, I just raised the bar.